Hi, I'm Danny Byrne with Ghostleg Media. Today we're going to take a look at creating videos from still photographs using Microsoft's Photostory 3. It's a free program that you can download from the Microsoft website. Just go to www.microsoft.com and then scroll over to the right-hand side of the page where you'll find the search box. Enter the title Photostory and then click on the magnifying glass to search. Photostory's download page will be the first item in the list. Click on it. When you're on the page, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll find other resources for Photostory users. Explore these when you get a chance. There are many helpful tips there. To download the program, go up to the top of the page and look for the Download Photostory 3 link. Click on it. You'll be taken to the download page. The first thing you'll have to do is validate your copy of Windows XP. Just click on Continue and follow any on-screen prompts. When you're validated, scroll down, you'll see the system requirements for Photostory. Notice that it works with Windows XP. It is not a Vista program. You'll need Windows XP. If you have it, your computer probably meets all of the other system requirements. You can see the download instructions a little lower on the page and additional resources. When you're ready to download, just go up to the top and click on the download button. You'll notice that Photostory is downloaded as an MSI file. That's the Windows installer package. It may be a little different than what you're used to seeing, so make sure you notice where you're saving the file. It'll be named pstory.msi. Click Save and begin the download. Once the file is downloaded to your computer, open the folder where you saved it, and you'll be able to begin installing it by just double-clicking on pstory.msi. When you're ready, click Run and follow the on-screen prompts. Installing Photostory is as simple as clicking Next and then clicking Install. When you're done, just click Finish. To get to Photostory, you'll have to click Start Programs and then click on the Photostory entry in your Start menu. You can create your own icon on the desktop by right-clicking on Photostory, clicking Send To, and clicking Desktop as shortcut. Next time you want to use Photostory, you can just double-click on the icon. That'll open the program to this screen. To begin a new story, click on Begin New Story and click Next. You begin by importing your pictures. Click the picture and click OK. If you want to click more than one picture at a time, click on it, hold your Shift or your Control key and choose another picture and continue. You can do this for as many pictures as you want. Click, Control, hold the Control key, find your next picture, click, hold Control, click, continue on until you have all of the pictures you want to use in your Photostory, and then click OK. You can rearrange the pictures or delete them from the timeline. Right-click on a picture and click Delete. This will remove it from the timeline, but not from your computer. This is non-destructive, so don't worry. I want to add multiple copies of the screwdriver to my timeline, so I'm going to go back and just re-import it several times. There's no reason that you can't have the same picture on the timeline more than once. You can rearrange position by clicking and dragging. Just drag and drop. When you have your pictures where you want, you can remove the black borders by clicking on the Remove Black Borders link. Click Yes if you like the way Microsoft crops the picture. If you don't like the crop, just click and drag the crop square to a better position for your picture. When you have it where you want it, click Yes. If you don't like any of the choices, click No. Again, you can make small changes by clicking the drag handles and enlarging the crop square and repositioning it until you like the look in the after picture. Click Yes when you're satisfied. If you don't see any good choice, click No. If you like the choice, just click Yes. Again, you can make small changes or large changes. When you're satisfied, click Yes. If you think Microsoft is doing a pretty good job, you can just say yes to all and then go back and pick any individual picture that you're not happy with and make small changes. This is a time saver if most of the cropping will be on the same size picture and will be very predictable. I'm going to rearrange the timeline a bit here so that there's a better flow in how the pictures are lined up. You can also change the orientation of the pictures by using the rotate buttons. Sometimes the rotation won't make sense, sometimes it'll look fine. What we want to do is try and get a flow into our pictures so they're not all facing the same way and they're not all angled at the same angle. If the picture looks good to you, then that's probably the correct way for the picture to be on your timeline. Also, I'd like to not have the pictures in such a precise order that the nut follows immediately after the bolt. So I can just click it and drag it to another position on the timeline. You can do this until you're happy with what seems to be the flow of your story. When you're ready, click Next. Now we're going to add special effects to the pictures. Remember, we downloaded more than one copy of the screwdriver. I want to use it as both the opening and closing picture. By choosing the colored pencil, I change the look of this picture dramatically. I'm going to use that a little later. To start, I'm going to use the gray outline, and again, it changes the picture dramatically. I'm going to go to the end of the timeline and put on the colored pencil effect. This will give my timeline a cohesion because it'll open and close with the same item, but it'll have a difference between them. Then I'm going to add a title. You can do this with family photos, just like writing on the back of the picture, or in this case, because we're going to use this to help sell items in our eBay store, I'm going to put on the name of my mythical store on the title to help introduce the products that you'll be seeing in the story. All the font sizes, faces, colors that are available on your computer are available in Photostory. Just click the font icon, which is the A, and begin typing. Highlight the text you want to change, and you're in the font dialog. You can choose a different font face. You can choose to make it bold or italic. You can choose a different size, and I'm going to choose the color white so it stands out against that gray background. When you're happy, just click Next. You can add voice narration if you want by clicking on the microphone icon and setting up your microphone. Click Next and the wizard will walk you through the steps. When you're ready to add voice, just click on the Start button and click on the Stop button to end your narration. Now let's look at the heart of Photostory, which is the customized motion. If you click on the Specify Start checkbox, you can change the size of the crop and the position. Because we're starting this story, I want to start in close. When you're happy, click Save and click Next. Now I'm going to change the position of the crop again by clicking in the checkbox and moving it to the left-hand corner, and I'll accept the end position in this case. I'm just going to make the start a little bit tighter. Because we're going from our first title frame to our transition into the story, I'm actually going to change the transition. The default is a fade, but I think it might be interesting to have a flip to go into the story. So I'm going to scroll through the transitions, and you'll see the transition window shows what the effect will look like. When you're happy, click Next. Now let's look at the motion on this bolt. It's going to pan the length of the bolt, which is good. I like that, but it's going, as you can see, to take 7 seconds to do it. That's a little longer than the standard 5, so I'm going to change the time and click Save. Here, I don't like the black bars showing, so I'm going to change the position of the start and then resize it so that the crop frame shows only the ladder at the top. It'll be a tight shot onto the ladder. Then the ending position, I'm going to Once again, resize so only the ladder is visible, not the black sides. And move the crop frame to the bottom. This will give us a pan along the length of the ladder. Now this is a large picture, so it's a long pan. I don't want it to be that important, so I'm going to change the time to 5.5. Again, just for fun, let's look at these transitions. The ladder is going to the monkey wrench in just the standard fade. But maybe we want, because we're panning down, maybe we'd want to have the transition as a scroll up. Just choose the reveal up, or maybe you'll want a slider down. You can change any transition and preview it here in this pane. When you have one you want to keep, you'll be able to choose it, click on it, and then choose the Save button. You'll notice there's also a preview button. At any point throughout Photostory, you can preview your entire story to see how it looks up to this point. I'm going to continue customizing the motion now. If you like what you see, you just click the button and it's saved. If you want to change it, you click the Specify Start, move it, change the size if you want to, and then click Save and go to the next. If you like it, just click the Next button and continue on. Or you can save it, change the position, save it, and go to the next. Do this throughout your timeline until you have all of your pictures just the way you want them. You can either accept Microsoft suggestions or you can go through. We started our photo story tight and then panned out. To end, let's start with the full frame and then move in tight on our call to action. This will make a nice frame for the photo story. When you're ready, click Save. Now let's close this window, click Next to go to our next set of actions, which is to add music to Photostory. If you have music you want to use already on your computer, you just click Select Music, click on the file, and then you can preview it here by clicking Preview. You'll see a small window open and the music will play in the background. That doesn't really seem right for our photo story, so let's close that and try this Create Music. You can use this especially with commercial uses. You won't have to worry about copyright. You see there are many genres to choose from, and within the genres you have different styles of music, and within the styles you have different bands. Within the bands you have different moods, and you can even choose the tempo and the intensity of the beat. So let's try one of these and preview it. You just click on the play button to hear what it will be. Again, not quite right. So you click Stop. And then let's go up and choose a different style. I'm going to try something a little odd here. I'm going to go to classical music, and then I'm going to switch to Beethoven. I'm doing this because it has a percussion, and I think that'll sound a little like hammering. I'm going to change it to high, but start with the regular tempo. Not quite what I want, so I'll stop and change the tempo to slow. That's it. So let's take that and say OK. And you'll notice it's all across our timeline. Now let's click Preview and check out how it sounds. Okay, I think that's going to work. So let's stop the preview and go to next, where we'll actually produce the movie. Microsoft offers you several presets so you don't have to change the settings at all for certain uses. If you do want to customize your photo story, click on Settings, and you'll see there are a number of profiles already available. For YouTube, which is what you'd use for eBay, one of the first three is probably the profile you're going to want to use. I like the second one best. The size, the bitrate, and the quality are all pretty good for YouTube. You click OK, and then you can name your story and file location here. You also want to save your project. This is not a file you upload, but it will make it possible to come back and edit it again with all of your transitions already in place. When you're done, click Next, and Photostory will begin building your story. You'll go through several screens, and depending on how complex it is, this can take several minutes. When you're done, you're given the choice to view your story in Windows Media Player. Just click on View Story and it will open in the Media Player. Here's our photo story. And that's how easy it is to make a photo story from still photographs and turn it into an interesting movie. Let's review those steps one more time. First, download the file from Microsoft and install it on your computer. Click Begin a New Story and then import your pictures to the timeline. You can import as many or as few as you want. When they're on the timeline, you can click and drag to arrange them, you can rotate them, and you can crop them to take out black borders. You can add special effects to any picture on your timeline, and you can add text and titles as well to help orient your viewers. You can add voice narration to help sell your products. Between pictures, you can customize the transitions. You can either use the default fade or pick any other one that you think is interesting. Add music, either the music on your computer or through the Create Music option to add background and create mood. When you're done, produce your photo story and then share it with others, either through YouTube or by posting it on your website. It's that easy to use Photostory to add interest to any item. Whether it's as inanimate as nuts and bolts or as sleek and fast as a car, Photostory can help add interest to any auction on eBay. For more tools for eBay sellers, please visit www.ghostleg.com. I'm Danny Byrne for Ghostleg Media. Thanks for watching.